Since we were last together, the 2020 R9T had a 500-mile, 3-day adventure, and that was a lot of fun until I ran through the swarms and swarms of grasshoppers and resulted in a green slime front. So the bike's been cleaned and it's been winterized, and it is sitting on in the back there under cover. The 77 R100S went on a 200-mile group ride where this was the senior citizen of the group, but was able to keep up with all of the more recent models. It was a lot of fun. Twisty rides, big group. First time I've ever done something like that. That'll be something I do more of in the future. Chance to ride on places that I've been over before, but some of it I hadn't been over before. It was a good time. All right, front and center is a friend of ours. It's the 1978 R100RS out of a cradle, and it's without straps, and it's without a wheel chock, and it's standing on its own center stand in the proper orientation, front wheel off the ground. So what I thought was going to be a file to fit ended up being a grind to fit. When I calculated that I needed a 50-degree angle for the center stand based on the R100S, I saw that I needed to take off close to 15 thousandths of material. So we fixed a angle grinder to a work surface and made sure it could move, and we put the center stand in a jig that allowed for it to pivot on the holes just like it does if it was installed, and we started grinding and grinding and grinding. And then when we got close, we went back to file to fit so we could flatten everything out and make sure all the clearances were there. And so now it is installed and standing as it should. The front end still seems to be easy to tip down, but in the case that I can't resolve it with a full tank of gasoline in it and it wants to dive off the front, then I'll probably have to get rid of that aftermarket oil pan and get the larger OEM version installed. Also applied to the bike is brand new fuel lines, and the petcocks have been reworked. And so today we're going to ride it around, warm it up so I can come back and do some service. Going to change the engine oil, transmission oil, drive shaft oil, final drive oil, put in new plugs and new air filter and a new oil filter, and move on to the next project. I'm going to hold off on the valve adjustments until I swap out the valve covers because they're a little scuffed up on the other side, and I have a better set to install. So after service, this thing will not be going undercover. It will move on to the next step, which will be the front brake system. Master cylinder has been reworked by the shop previous to my purchase, as well as the calipers. But it needs new rotors and brake lines. So we're going to do that, and then there'll be fresh fluid, and then we'll move on to the next thing. We'll let you know how that goes.